Good evening, welcome to Wightlink Radio TV. I'm joined by Streatham Redskins defenceman David Carr, of course, also Pro Hockey News guru, I like to call you. Obviously, Dave, a lot of exciting news coming up in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, the opening of your new rink. Any confirmation on when that is?
Yeah, it opens on the 18th of November. First game's on the 24th against Bracknell Hornets. Good seats still available, so get the tickets.
Obviously, I believe it's a 60 by 30 ice pad, 1,500 seats, is that correct?
I think it's just over 1,000 seats, slightly less than Olympic size, so yeah, it should be pretty big pad.
And is there like a big kind of thing with the opening, obviously some ticket promotions and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, I think we're still in organisation at the minute because the opening game is supposed to be against Invicta on the 9th. So it's being put back, so a few plans have had to be rearranged, but we're hoping for a big crowd for the first game there. Should be a historic event.
And of course, I pretty much imagine you'll be glad to see the back of Brixton. Obviously the parking issues there, I've been there on a couple of occasions with the juniors. Not the ideal rink to get to, and parking can be a bit of a nightmare. But it's served its purpose, I suppose.
Well, it depends on your driving skills, because to be honest, I have no problem parking, but I also take the underground, which is quite good. But yeah, I mean, should be a lot of parking on the ice as well. I mean, Brixton's been good, really good to us, really good facility. But Streatham, the Redskins belong in Streatham. It's got a lot of history, so it's really exciting to be going back there. And I think all in all, it's just great for the club. It's great for the juniors. It's great for everyone who uses the ice rink. Streatham, you know, for so many years had such a rundown facility, and now we're going to have the best facility in London. It's just really exciting time to be around Streatham at the minute. And
of course, obviously, looking across the league, you've got Milton Keynes temporary facilities due to open, I believe it's this weekend, but I believe they're just waiting on some certifications from the council. It's better having having some ice rather than no ice with the likes of Milton Keynes, and of course yourself being at Streatham for the last couple of years. It's good that these councils are sort of getting behind the rinks and actually having provided an ice facility on the temporary purpose.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the thing is, what people don't realise is if the team doesn't have a rink, it's not just the senior team that suffers. All the juniors don't have anywhere to play, and then of course you have that knock-on effect further down the line that Streatham have had. You know, a lot of the kids went to Guildford and places like that when the rink was sort of falling apart. I think Milton Keynes had the same when they closed previously. A lot of kids went to Stevenage and places like that, and you never really get that sort of progression that you had. So you lose age groups, numbers of participants. So it's not just the senior teams; it's the bigger picture as well. So, you know, it's really good that, you know, Milton Keynes have got their temporary facility going, Streatham had a temporary facility, and we just need some of the other clubs to get a bit of luck, teams like Romford to try and get a new rink as well, and then everything should be back to normal. And
just on a final note, of course you work for ProHockeyNews.com every weekend. Must be pretty tough, obviously, coming back from a game, then having to write a massive load of stuff, obviously, and get that up on your iPad or whatever, and sort of put out for the weekend. How do you feel the season's going overall with the National Ice Hockey League Division 1 overall as a sort of player, looking at most of the teams that you've played for so far, or played against rather? You feel it's a sort of good season, better than last year? Is it improving year on year, do you think?
Yeah, it is improving year on year. I mean, I think obviously with the Pro Hockey News thing, that's quite time consuming, but you know, I enjoy writing, so it's worth it in the end. But I think the league itself, it's obviously Romford are a little bit weaker this year. I mean, they're still a tough team to play, but they're not going to be challenging up with Chelmsford and Invicta. I think it's really, you know, between Chelmsford and Invicta for the title. I think if Wightlink can get, you know, a bit of a run of form together, that'd be good. But I think the firepower for teams like Invicta is just so strong that, you know, they've got to be favourites. I think it's a shame down at the bottom. Milton Keynes have had a tough start, but a lot of their games have been in the cup, so you'd think that they'll sort of turn a corner. They've got a lot of good young kids playing for them, so I think taking an overall view of the league, I think down the bottom's got a bit weaker, but obviously at the top you've got the 2-3 teams pulling away as well. So I don't know if it's changed. Nothing's really changed that much. I think it's always been a bit like that, but yeah, it's an exciting game, exciting league, and I think as Milton Keynes proved last week, they took points off London Raiders, and you know, I think Streatham are capable of taking points off the top teams. Every time we come to the Isle of Wight, we seem to get hammered for some reason. But, everywhere else, you know, our fanciest, we've got some good players. I think all the teams have got, you know, 3 or 4 really good players. So it's not, you know, it's not like before where you would have a team with one line of players who were decent and the rest of the team kind of filling spots. I think now it's got to the point where you've got 3 decent lines on pretty much every team. So yeah, it's exciting as always. But yeah, we've still got the playoffs after the league as well. So never, you know, it's never over till the end, really.
No, and on a personal level, you're saying coming down here, Streatham teams always seem to fare not very well. But of course, you've done pretty well today, coming down over the under-14s, going home with an 8-2 win. And of course, you're just about to rush off for the boat. So I won't keep you much longer, of course. But thanks for joining us, Dave, and good safe trip home.
No worries, Chris. Yeah, hopefully we get back in one piece if the hovercraft goes down. It's nice knowing you. It's a bit rough out there.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, thanks.